Welcome everyone to the CMiC Scholarship Conference call. In a moment, Pat Coleman, who is an ACE National Executive Committee member and the chair of the CMiC Scholarship Committee, will tell you about the details for this coming year's scholarship. She will also include in this presentation questions and answers from the previous call that was held earlier this week. So Pat, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you.
Thank you, Monica, and thank you everyone for joining us. We have a great turnout today. This is the second year that we are offering students to compete for the CMiC Allenberg Memorial Scholarship. This year we're doing something a little bit different. We are including a non-college bound student opportunity for those students who don't see themselves going to college but do see themselves in our engineering, architecture, and construction industry. With that said, I'd like to do a slight overview of the whole program. I'd like you to note that the Executive Committee of the National Board oversees the entire scholarship program, sets their policy, and selects the final recipients. The scholarships are available starting in 2020 in the fall, and each option will have its own application form. We have currently not set up the non-college form and will be pursuing that in the near future. The initial round of reviews focuses on merit and less on financial need. In the final round, financial need is considered by the executive committee members who will be determining who is awarded the scholarship and what dollar amount they will receive. As we have noted previously, each affiliate will be allowed to submit two candidates, one for a college-bound and one for a non-college-bound. Unlike the previous years, we will not be holding an event in Washington, D.C., but we'll leave that up to each affiliate to find the best fit for their recipients. I'd like to take a moment to review the schedule. December 7th, nominations will open where affiliates may start submitting names. February 5th of 2020 will be the deadline to submit their applications. And the week of April 6th, we will announce the results. For those students who are active in the database, once their name is submitted, they will be put into a category where they are considered one of the potential candidates for the scholarship. In order to be active in the database, they have to have a parental consent form and a permanent email. And this would be something that would not be a high school email, but something that they can use after they finish high school. When they are activated, the affiliate will follow through on their progress. We feel it is very important for the affiliates to do what they can to guide the student along to make sure they fill out their application appropriately. Of most interest is the letter of recommendation. The letter of recommendation should come from one of the mentors or someone directly associated with the affiliate. A teacher recommendation will not be accepted. The students are also asked to write an essay, and the essay is extremely important for the student to do aggressively. This is not a time to be modest. This is a time for the student to tell us why they are going to be successful in our industry and what they will bring to the industry. There is a section on the application where the students are asked to identify any awards or honors that they have received. None of that should be repeated in their essay. It should be a totally new document as outlined in the application. Please also note that there are acceptable majors in the documentation for the application. Students who are going into non-ACE related fields will not be considered. At this time, I'd like to tell you a little bit about the scoring process. We have developed a rubric which highlights a number of items that we will score. We are going to look at the high school academic record of the student. This is a grade point average based review. The second item for the college-bound student, but not for the non-college-bound student, is the ACT and SAT scores the student has received. The third category is academic preparation for the intended major. This does not distinctly require that you take exact courses, but more so that the courses you are taking are suitable for you to do well in college and to prepare you for a math or science related field. The fourth category is extracurricular involvement and honors. This is extremely important. Students are very active. They should tell us what they do, if they hold a job, if they have won an honor, if they have done well academically to be in honor society, or any number of sports or other extracurricular activities should be noticed. We want to recognize students who not only participate in their high school program and the ACE program, but do other things as well. A perfect example is anything you might do to volunteer for your community or your church. The fifth item, involvement in ACE. What have you done to participate in ACE? You must have participated for a minimum of 1 full year, but did you work beyond that? Did you lead your group? Did you do something on your project that made it special above and beyond the normal? We want to hear all about that so we can give you a high score in that category. The sixth category is the strength of your recommendation. Recommendation authors are asked to describe the applicant, and they should know them personally. They should know something about them. They should tell us why they're special and why we think it would be of value to have them in the ACE career industry. Finally, we have the promise of success in the ACE career. And this is a category where we review what you have put in the application in its entirety. Have you thought through that you're going to be a good ACE industry person, or are you interested in something other than that that wouldn't really facilitate your involvement with ACE? And once again, all of these are subject to review, and we generally encourage you to be as aggressive as you can in telling us about your student and them in telling us about themselves. At this point, I will go through the questions that we have received thus far to help you understand anything that was not obviously clear in the initial scholarship overview and procedure document. The first question has to do with the non-college track. Will the scholarship be sent directly to the winner? Can it be used for housing, food, etc.? And what will be required proof to receive? The answer is we are still working out the details. Since this is the first year, we are offering a scholarship for a student that is following a non-college path. The amount of scholarship will be decided at the discretion of the award committee and may cover direct and indirect expenses. Applicants will be asked to indicate their expected direct and indirect expenses related to training as part of the application. The second question is, will ACE National provide a certificate or check template? The answer is yes. Unlike 2019, when all scholarship recipients were invited to Washington, D.C., the awarding of the scholarship and any accompanying activities or celebrations will take place at the affiliate level. Once the winners have been selected, regional directors work with each affiliate to determine possible ways to celebrate the scholarship recipients. The third question, is there any way to make the deadline 2/20 like last year? The answer is no. The announced February 5th, 2020 deadline for receipt of a student's completed application will not be extended for 2 reasons. First, the initial review committee needs more time to review and rank nominations than last year's compressed schedule. This is a very time-consuming process. Second, we want to announce winners in early April so that affiliates will have time to incorporate awarding the scholarship into the year-end events. The scholarship program for 2020 has been announced earlier than last year in order to give affiliates advance time to identify the students they wish to nominate. Question number 4, related to the selection criteria. Can the application be clearer about how the submissions are scored and each area is weighed? For example, does an applicant not being in a direct ACE field rule them out, or would they just not get as many points as another candidate? If we have clear evaluation criteria, we can flow that down to the teams submitting their nominee to make it easier to score on the local level too, and eliminate the inconsistent applications. The answer is only students going into one of the approved fields or a skilled crafts training program are eligible to receive the scholarship. This list of applicable majors can be found on the last page of the announcement about scholarship procedures and deadlines. Thus, for example, students interested in a biomedical engineering or aeronautics major would not be deemed eligible. Another eligibility criterion is the requirement that applicants must have completed 1 full year of ACE by the time of applying. College-bound nominees are evaluated according to 7 criteria, each of which is equally rated on a 5-point scale. And I just went through all of those, so you can find those in the information I provided. For students planning to enter a skilled crafts training program, there will be a somewhat different rubric which is yet to be finalized. For one thing, students will not be evaluated on ACT or SAT scores. Scholarship nominees for a skilled crafts training program will be reviewed independent of the pool of college-bound students. What is the schedule for deadlines and final announcement? Beginning December 9th, an affiliate can submit the name of its nominee as explained in the scholarship procedures announcement. There is no deadline for affiliates to submit their nominee's name other than the application deadline. However, the sooner an applicant submits the name of its nominee, an affiliate submits the name of its nominee, the longer time the nominee will have to complete the application. The nominee will be notified that he or she has been activated in the ACE database to be able to open the scholarship application. Only students marked active and with a completed parent consent form in the database can be listed as an applicant. Applicants must also have a permanent email address, not a school address, in their student file. February 5th is the deadline for submission of the application, together with a transcript and recommendation letter. The announcement of winners will occur during the week of April 6, 2020. Question: what does it mean when you say students should have strong academic records relative to their intended career path? Does this mean that the student must take pre-engineering and/or architecture, basically a technical school? Answer: a student does not need to be in pre-engineering or architecture program to receive a favorable review. Rather, a student's academic record should indicate that the student is adequately prepared for his or her intended course of study. Question: from what I understand, need is not a criteria for selecting winners, but is a factor in determining how much each winner is awarded. Is that correct? Answer: in the first round of application reviews by a team of ACE board members, financial need is not an evaluation criteria. The ACE Executive Committee will make the final selection of winners, and financial need is taken into account for determining the amount of the scholarship. A finalist who has a strong application and significant financial need may be given a larger amount over a student with minimal financial need. The ideal applicant would demonstrate talent and promise, plus clear financial need. That is the end of the questions we have. Once again, I'd like to emphasize, follow your student, help them with their essays, get them to write it out first, do a proofread, and be sure that they get their application in on time. This is a fabulous opportunity for our ACE students. And thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Pat. We're all very excited about this opportunity for our students. So thank you for clarifying some things and discussing the new opportunities this year. If anyone has any further questions, please contact your regional director. Thanks again. Bye-bye.